Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Not Your Average Joel. So, before I tell you what this topic is about, I'm actually going to introduce my guest. This is a new guest here on my podcast. This is Miguel. I've known him for a very, very long time. I feel old even just saying that just because I'm still in my 20s, but I've actually known him since the elementary days, especially during the Kermit Johnson days. I'm sure we had a class together at some point, probably fourth or fifth grade. So I've known him for well over 20 years, and I've definitely kept up with him even ever since we got out of high school. We graduated together, and like I said, it's been good. Last time I saw him was a year ago at our supposedly high school reunion. It kind of turned out being a joke. Only like eight or nine people showed up, but it was still a good time, like getting to see the few that were there. But it was supposed to be some kind of huge reunion, and then less than 10 people showed up. But it was definitely good seeing people like Miguel and a few other people, there too. So I definitely am thankful that he was able to join today. So yeah, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me here. It's honestly a privilege, and I'm a little nervous and excited. It's just the first time doing. This is my first time doing a live show. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll do
Except
great.
for except for when I was on Rick and Bubba for like a second.
Oh, really? You were on Rick and Bobo?
Yeah,
What were you
I
doing on
called.
there?
I called and they actually answered, and all I said was meep meep meep.
And you
And
just
then it
hung
cut
up.
off. Yeah. No, I didn't hang up. It's like something got interrupted in between. It just
Mm.
yeah, it cut off. And they're like, "Oh, we lost you, Mickey." And they didn't say my name right. They said Mickey. It was funny.
Yeah, is that show even still out? Rick and Bubba?
Yeah, I
It's
think
still
so.
out.
Pe- yeah, I think they still air somewhere.
Yeah, I know my older sister used to listen to it, so like I used to always hear that Rick and Bubba, Rick and
Rick
Bubba.
and Bubba. No, they're definitely still on. They're on 104.7, I think.
Yeah, well, good to know because I definitely have not heard from them in a while. I know I've seen one of them come to our church as like a guest pastor. I think it was Rick. I think
Yeah,
Rick
I know.
Burgess.
Yeah, I think one of them is a pastor. What the boss that we were working with, he was actually he was going to that church with Rick and Bubba. He knows them personally. Yeah,
Hmm.
they
Wow, man, that's awesome. Like I said, it's crazy how small of a world we live in. Like I say,
yeah,
even though a lot of people that maybe live outside of Alabama may not know who they are, but they're like Alabama
yeah.
celebrities. Like James Span's another
Oh
celebrity.
yes, yes. I love James Bond.
So
Respect the polygon.
oh yes, respect that polygon. Like I was wondering if we were gonna have to respect the polygon earlier. I heard it's storming out here, but I think it cleared up.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's good to be here, Joel, and I'm excited and I got butterflies.
yeah, so like, I'm sure you'll do great. So like, this is your first time doing this, but I think yes, you'll definitely do good. And like, so we're going to talk about a fun topic. But before I talk
Yes.
about what the topic is going to be, I'm going to have Miguel just say what he does for a living, just so y'all have a little bit more of an understanding. Like kind of knowing a little bit more about who my guest is and and what he does for work. So you can just take it away.
So I'm a quality check technician for a company under the name of Grupo, and they actually produce parts for Mercedes. They produce headlamps, and what I do is make sure that each part comes out the way Mercedes wants them to be built. No scratches. Everything has to be perfect because they complain. They'll find it. If there's a problem with the part, they'll find it.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I love my job. I deal with people on a daily. I meet so many good people. Actually, people who just love and laugh with you, and they'll share stories with you. It's great. It's great working with these people. These folks are nice. There's some people out there that are a little bit grouchy. They could use a little bit of Jesus in their life, but it's all good. We, everything. Yeah, there's a balance in the world. There's good people, there's bad people, but I love it. I love it.
Yeah, well, that's definitely good that you enjoy doing what you do because some people out here have a job and they definitely hate doing it. They dread it, but they do it for the money. But at the end of the day, money can only bring so much little happiness. You definitely want to do a job that you are passionate about and just enjoy, and even just having that communication with fellow coworkers or customers and stuff like that. So it's definitely good that you like what you do.
Yes, definitely. And I like to, I like, I'm proud of the fact that I made a pretty good impact on this place. Because I mean, when I first started, it was pretty rough because we were dealing with a lot of mess. Like it was just a complete mess. And right now, the numbers are looking great. Like who would have known that I could have been good at what I do, I guess. I don't know. But I did try because my mom's always told me wherever you are, shine. Wherever you are, try your best, be the best you can be. And uh and I take those words to heart.
Man, I love that. That's great that you're making such a good impact on your company. So, and it just shows that you're there for there's a reason why you're there, and it looks like yeah, you're bringing some good things. You're putting good energy and good hard work ethics into the company, and just shining. As your mom has said. So that's definitely great.
Thank you. Grazie.
So today is going to be a little bit more of a fun topic today. I know a lot of people that watch these episodes may be thinking, golly, this guy, he talks about so many serious, deep topics, but today is going to be a little bit more fun. So, well, fun for y'all and maybe a little bit, I mean, it's still fun for us too. So the topic is
Yeah.
so the topic is going to be on embarrassing moments. So I've had plenty of embarrassing moments, and the reason why I wanted to talk about this is just because I want to bring a little bit more laughter into my podcast. I mean, I know it's good to talk about the serious stuff, but it's also good to talk about some things that you can look back on that you may think, wow, that was embarrassing, but at the end of the day, you can look back on it and laugh about it now. So that's why I wanted to
Oh
have
yeah.
this, and I'm glad that Miguel signed up for it because will be a good one. He said he has plenty to share, and I have plenty to share. So I'm going to go ahead and get into our first question. So the first question is, whenever an embarrassing moment happens to you, are you the type that runs and hides from the situation whenever it happens, or are you more the type that just embraces it in the moment and just it's almost like it is what it is and just kind of go along with it?
Now, I've never ran away from an embarrassing moment because 9 times out of 10, it's like one of those embarrassing moments where you're just like there, you can't run. And and of course there's some moments where you're like embarrassed and you're like, you know what? I'll own it. It happened to me and I'm accepting it and I'm learning from it. And some embarrassing moments actually even teach you a lesson. And and I've had quite a good bit. I've I've had a few, actually more than a few, but yeah, I can't run and hide from them because I'm already there. Like I have this one story, and like this one was when I was younger. I was a kid, and it was my mom's friend. I went with her and accompanied her to the store to go get Mexican tortillas. And they were fresh made tortillas, and they're just so good because they came out of they had just cooked them and they were still warm, and we put them in this like cooler thing. But we would go pick them up like every other day. I would go sometimes. She would go. My mom would go, or my dad would go pick them up and bring them to the house, and we would have food. And it was a good experience. And then one day we go, and I go with my mom's friend. She was wearing this like white skirt, uh like a really long skirt, almost right above her ankles. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think she sewed it together. Yeah, because she used to make like sweaters and stuff. So she made this skirt, and keep in mind, her skirt is white, and my jacket, the one that I was wearing, was white as well. So I go into the store with her, and I see this little like string sticking out of my jacket, and I'm just like, whoa. You know, when you try to pull the string that's just like hanging off of one of your shirts or one of your jackets and it like snaps off, and you're like, okay, I got it off. This was not that case. I started pulling it, and I was like, where's so much string coming from? And I just kept pulling it. I had like a mountain of string in front of me. And this was embarrassing for me because I look back and because I hear, "Ah!" And it was my mom's friend. I had been taking her skirt apart. Like it was all the way up to where her underwear was. And she was like freaking out. And a good thing we had a towel in the car because if not, she wouldn't have had anything to cover up with.
Oh my gosh.
She was like, "That's my skirt." I was like, "Oh, okay, whoops." We told my parents when I got home. She was like, "Oh, you won't believe what your son did." She came back with a towel around her waist. I guess it was more embarrassing for her than it was for me at that point. But I turned super red because I did not know that was not my intention to take apart her skirt like that. It was not a pleasant sight either. She was older woman, and it was awkward. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm sure. Mm.
that that was an experience. That was an experience. Those are the ones you learn from. They're like, yeah, don't just pull every string that's on your clothes. Make sure you know where it's coming from.
Yeah, Les, you are right that there is a lot of like embarrassing moments that you can learn from. And there's even like a lot of embarrassing moments that like you almost can't run from. Like it's sometimes you're just stuck there and you just have to take it in and you just have to
Yeah.
embrace the moment. Like I guess I can go in and kind of share a minor situation. It was kind of the same thing for you. I was younger and it was probably more embarrassing for my parents than it was for me. But a little while ago, like for those that don't know, there's a city called Center Point in the Birmingham area, and there's this restaurant. Well, I guess everybody knows what Golden Corral is. It's a buffet.
Oh yeah.
It's a buffet restaurant, and I was a kid, and like we went there, and
The
we were
butter
leaving.
bread.
Oh yes, that good old rolls, and yeah, their steak was good. Everything was good, and
Oh
we
yeah.
went there and we ate, and we were leaving, and like I guess I was the last one to get up from the table, and I saw money sitting on the table, and
Oh.
I was thinking, oh no, like my mom left money like on the table. So like I like took the money and like I ran up there and I was like, Mama, you left this, and she's like, no, like she took it. She's like, that's the tip for the waitress, and she had to like go back. And at first I was thinking like, what? I was trying to like I thought you lost your money, and here I am trying to be a helpful family member, a helpful son,
That's
and it was
hilarious.
and it was actually for the waitress. So now that I'm older and realizing how little the waitresses and waiters get paid, which is still mind blowing to me
Yes.
how unfair it is. But I was just thinking how funny it was, just thinking like if I ever had a child and my kid ever did that, I would just probably be laughing about it just because I did the same thing. So sometimes you just
That
have
would
to,
be hilarious.
yeah, you just have to be in the moment and just kind of laugh it off.